Creepy fingers. Trying to imitate the poster. It's not the worst imitation of the poster. Just, Heretic. Two religious, at least, based films. Like, the plot is based in religion on some level, back to back, and did Conclave on Thursday, which was really good. Conclave was really good. And now I did Heretic, both of which I was interested in when I saw them. Conclave, due to Ray Fiennes, the Oscar buzz I was hearing about it, like a political thriller inside of the church, which is a cool, interesting concept, electing a pope. And this one giving us a more horror isn't quite the right way to put it, although it gets a little horror-y near the end. This is much closer to a religious thriller, and religion is not necessarily like it's the focus of the film, but not in a sense you might think. It's what you get in trailer. It mainly stars Hugh Grant. He is the lead of the movie. I mean, technically, your protagonists are these two Mormon missionaries, Sister Barnes and Sister... Oh, crap. I can't remember the other one's name. But these two missionaries, they're your protagonists, but if you're talking about who your lead of the film is, the main driving force from the film, it's Hugh Grant. They go to his house, just to talk about the word of Jesus Christ and maybe get him baptized. And obviously it turns out that's not quite, he knew people were going to come eventually. He was hoping for it. And so he's planned this experiment to prove to them what the one true religion is, what he has discovered. And it's an interesting film because it's a clash of ideologies, and it's not doing it in a disrespectful way, unless you're very insecure about your religion, in which case, that's a you problem. See, people who have faith, who have strong faith, shouldn't have any sort of, shouldn't really worry about people making fun of them, because, yeah, okay, fine, people just either don't understand your faith, or, it's just, you're comfortable who you are, so it doesn't matter. It's the people who have insecurity that, get really offended, in my personal opinion. But the movie itself is not asking these questions out of disrespect. It's asking them because these are questions that get brought up. And it's a fun back and forth because they're like poking as many holes in his theories as he's poking holes in theirs. So, and he's welcoming that. So it's a really interesting back and forth, a deep look into religion. Like, where does religion kind of come from? The different forms of religion we've had over the centuries, the millennia even, and ultimately what his discovery is. And I'll say I liked it. I had a good time with this film. I don't know if I'd put it in my top 10 of the year. I've seen a lot of films that frankly would rank higher than this year. If I could just think of 5 off the top of my head, Dune 2 is better than this, I think. Deadpool Wolverine is a better movie than this, even though this is a good movie. Inside Out 2 is a better movie than this. Furiosa was probably, I think, a better movie than this. And again, I'm just spitballing random ones out here right now. I'm trying to think of everything I saw because I've seen a lot this year. I'm just trying to. I'm sure this would not be in my top 5 at least. Wild Robot. There you go. Wild Robot was better than this, but this is still an interesting look at the subject, an interesting take on the thriller genre and religious movies. You buy Hugh Grant, like I said, he sells this movie. He is charming. He is very polite. He's well spoken, obviously, because he's Hugh fucking Grant. But he even made a comment, I think, in an interview recently, how in his later years he's really enjoying playing these more charmingly evil characters, narcissistic, madmen to some degree. And he says, I don't know what it says about me, but because it's fun to play bad guys. But yeah, no matter what you're watching him, no matter how polite, charming, affable he's being, there is a undercurrent of menace. Like, there's something wrong about this guy. There's something dangerous about this guy. And it's very hard to kind of put your finger on it at first. Like, I mean, you see the trailer, sure, and he basically puts these girls into an experiment. But what does the experiment entail? What is he driving at? He's constantly keeps saying, you're free to go. No, you're free to go. You're free to go. Absolutely. No one's halting you here. You're free to go. But you have a deadbolt on the door. It's like, but you're free to go. I can't leave from the front. You got to go through the back to go out. Yeah. So it's it is very like he's very unassuming in some ways, but in other ways you're like, okay, what's this guy's angle? And when you get to his angle, I'm still not quite certain what it says about him in terms of what his ultimate goal was. I have a leading theory about what the goal was, but I can't talk about that without talking about spoilers, and I'm not going to talk about spoilers. I very rarely do that anymore. All I can say is this guy, he's screwed up in certain ways. In other ways, he does make points. Like, he goes into this very long, I wouldn't say monologue, because there are points where the girls are, like, chiming in, but mostly it's a monologue about dissecting religion, where the base religion comes from. And he uses, like, a Monopoly board game analogy, and it's actually not a bad analogy. And he talks about how all religions have, like, a Jesus Christ story, a chosen son who falls and resurrects. But then one of them, I think it's Barnes, who is the two sisters. One is like indoctrinating their church since birth, so she's very innocent and naive. The other is a bit more worldly and kind of more jaded, so she's able to kind of fight back. She's able to counter his arguments a bit more effectively. And she brings up many points about like how his analogy is flawed, and it's both sides actually make good points. That's where this film really works well, is in the not cat and mouse, that's not the right term, the battle of wills and ideologies, and where that ultimately leads itself to. Now, if I were to say anything negative about the film, actually, let me talk about one more positive thing first. Hugh Grant is only as good as the people he's working off of in this film, and this is only a cast of maybe 1, 2, 3 your mains, 4, 5, and a couple minor people. It's like 4 main people, kind of. Even really, it's only 3 main people, 2 side characters. One being Topher Grace, who's like the elder of their church. And like, I know I saw Topher Grace as something else this year. I can't remember. I guess glad that Topher's getting some work. But I'm not gonna lie, when he shows up, it's kind of like pointless. Like, him being there is kind of not necessary. It was like he just needed work, and I'm like, hey, we can figure out a role for you. We like you, Topher. So yeah, I can't say that it was really all that necessary. Plus, this bad white hair they had on him, like, I did not believe that at all. But whatever. And then there is someone else who's in the movie. I'm not going to give anything away. It does lead to the reveal of what the one true religion is. But that being said, I can't talk about what that is without spoilers. I think you vaguely see a little bit of them in the trailer, but I'm not going to give anything away. But if I were to bring up some negatives or complaints or just criticisms, I guess is the best way to put it, I do agree with what I think Jeremy Johns said. For the first half of the movie, the more innocent missionary, the more innocent of the 2 girls, she was making some very dumb decisions. Like, her naivete was very, very much on display. And that got a little, like, grating, but she then really kind of does a 180 and kind of start making all the right decisions near the end. Also, I wouldn't say it's, like, tonally out of place, but it does go a bit darker near the end. Like, and I mean, it's already dark, but once we get, like, in the last 15 minutes or so, maybe 20, it does lean a little bit more towards a horror angle, which I'm fine with, but I'll be honest, I was kind of more just fine with this thriller angle, but I knew we were probably going to get that as well. Otherwise, I can't think of much else. The performances are all great, particularly Hugh Grant, but it's an interesting dive into the concept of a religion. What does it mean? What is the founding of it? Where does it come from? What is the one true religion? If you're someone of faith, obviously, or if you even care about that question at all. And like the way they have to try to escape this unassuming man while still trying to maintain their belief, I guess is the best way to put it. And just the ideas this obviously not well person is bringing up, and how, what they mean exactly. So it's an interesting watch, to say the least. Is it going to be for anyone, or everyone, I should say? No, it's not going to be for everyone. Is it still a solid film? I think if it's the kind of genre you like, yeah, I'd recommend it, absolutely. That being said, what did we get for trailers? Because we got some weird ones this time around. Let me see here. Let me get the. But where is my? There it is. Okay. The rough, because I don't think we got many movies coming out next year. That we got for the trailers. But let's see here. We had. Trying to see here. I don't think we got Red One. I'm looking at just like I think we got some limited release ones too. Let's see here. We got Gladiator 2, no surprise there. And again, I'm looking for it. I want to get the popcorn bucket in my Cinemark cast. It comes with a little helmet you can put off and put on. I want that. I believe we got Moana 2, which I found a weird choice, I think. But okay, Moana 2 attached to this film, whatever. Did not get Wicked again, surprisingly. Okay, Y2K from A24. Of course, an A24 film would probably be, marketing an A24 film. But Y2K, okay. So for those of you youngins who watch me, and I've seen my analytics, I got like a bunch of my subscriber base is between 18 and 36, the majority of you, or at least my viewer base, 18 and 36, the majority of them. So if you were not alive for 1999, you did not know about this thing called Y2K, or maybe you've heard of it from your parents or something like that, whatever. But for those of you youngins out there who don't know what Y2K actually was, let me break it down for you. Back around 1999, everyone was starting to worry that the computers all the internet, all the computers everywhere were going to crash because the internal clock only went to 1,999. And this was going to cause a huge crash. Everything was going to go to shit. The internet was going to be gone. We go into the dark years. Bombs are going to go off. All that. Literally. Now, there's no guarantee that would have happened. But whatever little problem they had there, they fixed in time. And so nothing happened, as you can tell. Well, apparently, this movie is telling us what happens if Y2K isn't just real, but instead turns into maximum fucking overdrive, where the machines become sentient and try to waste us. I'm watching this trailer going, what am I looking at now? Why have I not actually heard about this film? Because I desperately want to see this film now. And it's labeled as it's R. It's hard R. People are going to get jacked up in this. But it is advertised as a comedy. So I'm watching like, okay, you had my interest. Now you have my attention. So yeah, I'm gonna be there, absolutely. We got Mufasa again. I am so done with this. I'm so done. I'm gonna be so glad when this film comes and goes. I will be at Sonic the Hedgehog that week. I am not seeing Mufasa because I didn't see the original remake of The Lion King. And I've only seen it through reviews, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not want to see this movie. I have a feeling I'm gonna be miserable through this movie because I love the original Lion King. And that's not me crapping on the people who worked on this, or even necessarily crapping on the most previous iteration of Lion King. That's not me doing that. I want to be very clear. But I sense no, even in the original one, even in the original remake, I still sensed passion behind there. I still felt like the effort and the effects was there. Yeah, I've heard dialogue just doesn't strike the same chord as the other one did, as the original did. But without all that being said, I still could feel the effort that was put into it. I feel none of that here. I feel like this truly is a complete and utter cash grab. Like, yes, a lot of films kind of are cash grabs to some degree or another. I mean, all films are trying to make money. That really is the. Ooh, I'm lagging a little bit. That really is the main goal of a movie, is to make money. I mean, it's entertaining, sure, but what they want is to make money off of what they spent and put into the movie. But sometimes but you still want to put passion and effort into those movies because that's how you get people to go back to the movies, to make a good product that people enjoy. This just doesn't feel like there's any passion or effort. This feels like a studio cut and paste movie. And again, people asked me during the Q&A what films I thought would be $1 billion films remaining this year. I think Wicked and Moana 2. Moana 2 is apparently tracking for even a bigger weekend than Inside Out 2 had. Think about that. But Moana 2's got a damn good shot at it. I think that's almost a lock. And I think Wicked actually has a really solid shot at $1 billion. I really do. I do not think, now, I could be dead wrong, absolutely. I don't think Mufasa is going to hit $1 billion. First, while the the previous one did make $1.6 billion. It's one of only 3 films in the $1.6 billion club. It's been a couple years. Honestly, if you even look at the effects in that trailer, it does not look as good. And I don't know who was wanting a prequel to this to The Lion King. I really don't. We generally want sequels, not prequels. We want to see a movie continue forward, not to see what came before. Now, there are exceptions to that rule. The Hobbit was stories that existed along with The Lord of the Rings, so that's a series of movies that makes sense to actually make. Whether you like those films or not, it's up to you, but those are still prequels that made sense. Whereas, even Furiosa, I liked Furiosa quite a bit, I really did, but there really wasn't a logical step in going Charlize Theron in that movie to Anya Taylor-Joy prequel movie instead of just a continuing adventure of Furiosa. And again, there's other problems that movie had too when it comes to like fandom, audience, all that. But the point is that there's not the logical jump there. And I don't see the logical jump in telling Mufasa's story, particularly because we know, unfortunately, how it ends. Now, and that's another problem with prequels, is that you generally know how they end. Because they're prequels. We know where the story's ultimately going to go. So if it ends in a happy place, we go, okay, well, that's not going to last forever. I just get a very annoyed feeling in my gut when I think about Mufasa for some reason. That being said, the other 2 films we got, or trailers we got, is Companion, which I'm still trying to figure out what the hell that film's about. The best guess I can give is because there's also there's a scene where we see the female character open up a wall, like a safe with cash. He's pointing a gun at her a lot of the time. My guess is this has to do partly with a heist or something. Thieves, criminals, whatever. And he's a psychopath. I was like, I love you. I want you to prove your love for me. Set your arm on fire and prove your love for me. That's the general vibe and idea I'm getting from it. Otherwise, I couldn't tell you what that film's about. Interesting, though. And then there's Wolfman, which, look, I liked The Invisible Man. I liked it a lot. And Wolfman, it is one. I would like to see a new modern retelling of the Wolfman. I just hope that Universal animatronic we saw, or model of the Wolfman that we saw, and that we kind of get a very brief shot of in the trailer, isn't the full, true form of the Wolfman that he's made. That's made transformation as he's going further into a wolf. Because if it is, that is one of the worst looking Wolfman I have ever seen. That is not a compelling looking monster. I mean, that could be fine as something else that isn't a werewolf. That's my point. And even so, we've had humanoid looking werewolves like that. Where, I think, was a perfect example of that. There was also what was it, Howling? Not that Howling, but Howl. The one where they're on the train, the werewolves. Those were semi-humanoid looking, but they also were had huge proportions on. So you can make humanoid-esque werewolves still look frightening and cool. In fact, you know what? Hold on. I'm not gonna bring it up, but maybe I will. Hold on. Not the Wolfman. It's just Wolfman. Wolfman. Let's see. Wolfman 2025 film. Are they going to give me an image of the actual werewolf here? Okay. All right. Now, I want you to look at this picture if you have not seen it already. I want you to look at this werewolf. This werewolf. I don't know why I'm getting so freaking pissed off at this, but I love like the big 3 or 4 monsters. You're like your zombies, your Frankensteins, or zombies, ghosts, vampires, and werewolves. Those are like your big 4. Werewolves are my particular favorite. Okay, cool. So I want you to look at this. This image is on Facebook. And I'm just going to fix this real quick here. If you've not seen this yet, hold on. Does this look like a werewolf to you? Or does this look like something from Wrong Turn or The Hills Have Eyes? Does it just look like some kooky old man who's maybe like a cannibal or something looking at us? That's not a goddamn werewolf. I have no idea what the hell that is, but that is not a werewolf. So, with that said, I am hoping that is simply like a mid-transformation kind of thing in the movie. Like he has not gone full werewolf yet. This is like maybe midway through his transformation. Like, look, I can see, like he's got the pointed ears, he's got fangs, he's got claws, he's clearly getting more hair. So I can see the beginnings, like the process to a werewolf. But you know what? I could fix this in a heartbeat. You want to know how you fix this? You don't make him effing bald. Like, technically he's not bald. He's got, like, long hair on the back, but you don't give him this giant-ass billboard brow. You make sure he's got hair going all the way back, like, right here to back. Make sure he's got a bit... Because if you just did that, quite frankly, if you did that, it's such a simple change, it would work, in my opinion. It would work a lot better anyway. But again, I am hoping to all of God. Even Supernatural does this better. They barely had a budget to make good werewolves. That's why they even said, yeah, real werewolves don't have fur. That's just movies. They still have claws. They still have animalistic features. Cool, great. You ever watch Big Wolf on Campus on Fox Family, ABC, something like that? Where, it's just like a sitcom werewolf and he's like fighting another supernatural with Tommy Dawkins. I still remember Big Wolf on Campus. You can watch that on YouTube. Their werewolf effects are better than that. That still looks like a werewolf to me on a budget. This is $1 million-some-odd film, however $1 million film, and that's what they do for their werewolf. I don't know. I'm getting overly amped about this. I digress. What did you think of the movie if you've seen Heretic? Let me know in the comments below. But until then, what did you think of the Wolfman if you haven't seen that before? But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I got to do my what if for today after this. So I'll see you later.